North Korea could be joined by China in a conflict between the United States and its allies as fears increase over the Chinese position in the brewing conflict. North Korea's deadly threat to the globe could be assisted by China as the regime's nuclear threat grows. Author and North Korea expert Gordon Chang has claimed the Chinese are going in the wrong direction away from the United States position. Mr. Chang added that China has done little in response to President Donald Trump's increased pressure on the regime. President Trump has been trying to increase pressure on North Korea and redesignated them a state sponsor of terrorism, meaning the United States can enforce even more sanctions on Kim Jong-un's regime. Speaking on Fox Business, Mr. Chang said, "Beijing has done a little bit in response to President Trump's pressure, but they are starting to get a little bit irritated. We are starting to see this in a number of things they have been saying and doing recently. I think China, at least over the last week or so, is really not going in the right direction. It is up to our president to push them back onto the right road." China agreed to United Nations sanctions on the hermit state, which would limit countries from importing North Korean crude oil, iron, lead and coal. Fears have been raised, however, that North Korea's biggest trading partner, China, has not been fully implementing the sanctions. Mr. Trump has repeatedly called for the Chinese to do more to stop Kim Jong-un from testing missiles. North Korea's most recent missile test took place on November 29, and the regime said the Hwasong-15 missile soared to an altitude of about 4,475 kilometers and flew 950 kilometers during its 53-minute flight before landing in the sea New Japan. After the missile test, Kim Jong-un declared that the North had finally realized the great historic cause of completing the state nuclear force. It has been feared that China could even stand alongside North Korea if a conflict between the rogue state and the United States began, sparking World War III warnings. Last week, the United States and South Korean forces held large-scale drills, leaving the North to say that the outbreak of war was an established fact. When asked in Beijing about the new drills, the Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman Liu Yukong said the situation needed to be addressed. He said, "All relevant parties should do is still to completely, precisely, and fully implement the relevant United Nations Security Council resolutions toward North Korea, and do more for regional peace and stability and to get all parties back to the negotiating table. Not the opposite, mutual provocation." The United States ambassador to the United Nations Nikki Haley said they were trying to isolate Kim Jong-un's state, and claimed North Korea was stressed out about the pressure.